Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Badzlin Azhar. In this video, I would like to present my research topic about dividend performance of dairy companies over 2050 to 2024. That will be involved 5 subtopics, which is introduction, literature review, methodology, result and discussion, and also conclusion. Now I will start with the first chapter, which is introduction. In this research, I choose food and beverage or F&B industry, where F&B are critical industry in the domestic and global economy, as it provides key goods to the consumer. In this industry, dairy industry is a great significant because it is dependent on the raw material quality requirements, and the production and operational cost of the industry are relatively high. The dividend payout ratio or DPR is usually considered according to Rose et al. 2019, so to determine the amount paid to stakeholders in different industry. So the dividend policy differs widely across a company and has changes depending on financial aspect like profitability, firm size, as well as leverage, according to Han and Yu et al. 2017. So other than that, this research also discuss the pressure on the cost, including increase in production and also operating expenses. For the problem statement, there are 3 problems indicated in this research, which is rising production cost, sustainability requirements, and also external shocks. Rising production cost, according to Al-Kaisi and Scarlett 2021, the high dependency on imported feed and also the price of feed. So in 2023, world cow's milk reached 782 million tons, while some regions like EU27 slightly declined 0.3% due to high cost in production. The second one is sustainability requirements. So companies are under pressure to implement of waste management system, energy efficient machinery, eco-friendly packaging, and also emission control. So notes from Nazi et al. 2024, in line with the objectives of the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, which is indicated to SDG 9, SDG 8, and SDG 12. That related with this research, but facing pressure profitability on the short term for the companies. So the last one is external shocks. So National Statistical Organization, which or NSO, reported that agriculture was the only industry that had a positive growth with 2.9 in the quarter April-June. So according to the recent data published by NSO, the Indian GDP declined by 23.9% on the basis of year-on-year. So next, let's move to the research objective and research questions. There are 3 research objectives that indicates to examine the relationship between profitability from size and leverage with the dividend policy. So for the research question is, does profitability from size and leverage factor influence the dividend policy? By doing this research, there has a research gap that indicates when I'm doing this research, because most of the literature on dividend policy is based on profitability and traditional financial indicators, so it's very little emphasis on performance and operations. So the research investigating the effectiveness of post-COVID-19 recovery plans and their effects in seeking adherence, especially with the Sustainable Development Goals (SDG) on dividend. Alright, the next chapter is a literature review that indicates theoretical findings and also research framework. For the theoretical findings, I choose contingency approach theory for this research because dividend policy is depending on the market condition, regulations, and company size, according to Scenario Date 2025. The results of cross-country research indicate that dividend decisions vary based on the economic and regulatory environment. This research framework illustrates the relationship between firm characteristic and company performance, where company performance is measured by dividend policy, which is dividend payout ratio or DPR. Dividend payment reflects financial sustainability and management confidence and is commonly used as a performance indicators in prior studies, according to Chintia and Hajarinina 2020. As shown in the framework, profitability, firm size, and leverage are the independent variables, while dividend payout ratio is dependent variable. Profitability are measured by return on asset, or ROA, is generally associated with higher dividend payments, while firm size reflects financial maturity and stability, according to Han and Yu et al. 2017. In contrast, leverage is often found to have a negative relationship with dividend payment, as highly leveraged firm prioritize debt obligation. The next chapter is a methodology that indicates the data sources. So, for this research, I used the secondary data obtained from London Stock Exchange Group, or LSEG. Sample consists of publicly listed F&B firms with significant dairy operations. This study period covers 10 years, suitable for using the panel data analysis. Next, we move to the next chapter, which is result and discussion. As shown on the screen, there has a justified of variable and also the equation. So we can see that profitability and firm size have a negative relationship with the DPR, but opposite with the leverage with a positive relationship with the DPR. The redundant fixed effect test was conducted to determine whether the fixed effect models is more appropriate than the pool ordinary least squares model. This test examines whether there are significant cross-sectional fixed effects across the firms. Based on the result, the cross-section F statistic shows a probability value of 0.4335, which is greater than the 5% significant level, which is 0.05. Similarly, the cross-section chi-square statistic also produced a p-value of 0.3300, which is also greater than 0.05. Since both p-value is at 0.05, the null hypothesis cannot be rejected. This indicates that the cross-sectional fixed effects are not statistically significant, implying that there is no strong evidence of individual firm-specific effects in the data. Therefore, the fixed effects model is considered unnecessary, and the POLS model is more suitable than FEM for this study. To sum up, dividend payout choices are one of the major corporate finance areas of concern, mostly in the dairy industry, as it has high operating costs and economic exposure. Dairy companies have between the demand of their shareholders to receive dividends and the company financial needs, especially at unstable times like COVID-19 and the post-pandemic. This proposed study will investigate the drivers of dividend performance dairy companies over 2050 to 2025. The research questions association of profitability, firm size, leverage as the independent variables, or IVs, and DPR is the dependent variable, DV. So in this research, I choose the contingency approach theory, support the research explaining the dividend behavior in various financial situations. That's all for me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.